Alright guys, back in the video, and this time we're going to be doing something a little different. It's going to be sort of like a deck profile, but not exactly. We're just going to go into what's essential for Trunks going into set 12 with the Tapion Unison. I do have it proxied with the old set 10 Unison, so that will make it a little visually, just remember that Supreme Kai Unison is Tapion in this video, okay? So if you don't know what the Trunks leader does, or you're interested in what it does, basically, when you take damage on your opponent's turn, you can reveal the damage and you can put it in your hand, and it triggers the effects of some of your cards, and it also gets around critical and stuff like that. So yeah, and attack, draw a card. When either player is at 4 or less life, you can draw a card and switch one energy to active mode. So backside, the same thing with the revealing, adding it to your hand, and then you have an ability for removal. Pay 2 blue, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, put it on the bottom of the deck, and then at end of turn you switch up to 1 energy back, and also attack, draw a card. So really good leader, and it just keeps getting more support. So we're going to treat this as Tapion. Now Tapion is going to be the main focus of the new deck, and it is very important to strategy. So you're going to try to maximize on trying to draw this card. So 50 cards, no more, no less, and we're going to play the card that digs it. So this card looks at the top 5 and tries to grab a 2-drop blue Unison or a Trunks Future, which is pretty important. I would say that in my opening hand, I am mulliganing for these 2 cards specifically. Also, just in general, grabbing Trunks cards to fuel your Supreme Kai of Time and to place into your life, like this one, is very nice. So these are the only this is the only 2 cards that I look for in my opening hand, and obviously there are a few cards that are situationally good against certain matchups, and yeah. Also, this is a 1-cost blue card, which is important to note for a later card. So just remember, this deck is built around this card, so we're trying to make sure that we maximize on trying to get this card. So Trunks, with the Tapion Unison, you want to play these 2 cards in your life now. These 2 cards are your main things. No more Vegeta and Goku. Along with this, you just maximize on 4 of these instead of 2 Goku and 2 Vegeta. And I'm actually contemplating going down to 3 on this. This is more important. This is not that good in the upcoming format, but it's good, but it's not that good. So we're going to maybe side the 4th, or just because we don't really want to draw multiple of these. We kind of just want to see this one. This one is a free body that basically gets you another Trunks to your hand, and that fuels the Tapion. So this card is super good. If you don't know what it does, when you reveal it with Trunks, you play it, and you look at the top 5 and grab a blue Goku, Trunks, or Vegeta out of those 5. So it can even help you give it this. So you don't really need to max out on this anymore, because just the way the deck's built. But it's still a good card, so 4 may be an option. I'm not sure. Depends on which route I go. But also, these are blue battle cards that you're playing for free. Remember that. So and if you saw the last video discussing this card is super good. But when you have Tapion Unison, you can play this for free on your opponent's turn, which is pretty good. And you get to still use this auto, and it's a blocker, so it's really good at playing defense and just setting up your life with these cards. So these cards go together, but I don't think I'm gonna play 4 of these anymore, because it's not the main target we're going to go for. It's not the main card we're mulliganing for anymore. And it's easy to get this off of this, and you don't want to see more than one. So I'm pretty sure I'm going 3 copies of Trunks, 1 drop. So the targets you really want to play off of your Unison are right here. So this one is a must-have 4 of. I'm going in between 3 and 4 of these. Probably going to stick with 3 and 3. But these cards are very essential. This one, if you know what it does, attack, look at the top 3 cards, grab a blue Saiyan card, which is pretty important in the sense they can fetch out all of these good cards. So, and obviously your other Trunkses. So it helps fuel the Tapion, which is why this is important. Yeah, we'll get into these cards a little later. So we're going to discuss this card next. This becomes a 2-drop if you have a blue Unison card in play. So This gets played off of Tapion, and he draws you a card at the end of your opponent's turn. He also has pay 2 during activate battle, gain 10k and triple strike. So this is a way to close the game out, and it's just super strong. So drawing a card on your opponent's turn and then drawing for turn helps keep the game going. And this is just super good defensively, especially against red Broly and black Broly. So you can play this, you get the auto on your opponent's turn. Also, it's just a good negate, so when you draw it in the later game, it becomes an actual negate for the deck. So for this one, minimum 3 of each of these. Take these into note when you're building for set 12 Trunks. Counterplay, this is a must have 4 of, especially sometimes I do like to charge this turn 1, so I want to see more of them throughout the game. Also, it's just a super good counterplay. Not really much to say about this. It's also Trunks, so you can get it. You can search it out off your boneless and your Trunks 2 drops. This is a good card for the deck. I'm debating on going 2 to 3. I was playing 3 or 4 in some other builds, but this guy's just a 1 cost negate Vegeta. Dimension Magic, I will discuss it, but it is kind of hurt by some of the cards in the draft box, and people are going to be playing those cards. And I don't want to be caught slipping and not have regular negates. Besides, I mean, D-Magic does the same thing, but this is just, if I'm going to play D-Magic or this and I can't restand the energy, this just becomes better. Goku Hit, this is a card that we're debating on not playing or playing. It depends on how the format goes, but if we do end up playing this card, I would be playing 2 to 3 copies of this and not 4, because I think I need to at least play 1 or 2 copies of this. This is put one on the bottom, draw 2 super combo, and it's a sand blue, so you can get it off of your Trunks 2 drop. So it's pretty useful. May go 2/2, but this guy, I'm not sure. He's super good, but the way the route of the deck's going, I'm not sure if he's as important anymore. So maybe go. I'm going to try in 3, 2, and 1, but it could all change. Depends on how the format end up going and how my local area looks. Obviously, we play beans. The number is up to you. I prefer 4 beans because if I have to charge one, I still can have one later on. And I always like to stack these. Like I have 4 of them in my hand sometimes, you know, later game. Dimension Magic, this is a card that's super good, but I haven't been playing in my other builds, so I'm not sure if I'm really going to stick with playing this or not. Because it doesn't really do anything for the deck other than just give you an extra negate and open up the energy. So obviously we play Baby Hatch. This card's dumb, and we don't charge past 3 energy anymore in this build, in this specific build, unless I end up adding my boonies, and I'll go to 4. Because sometimes I know I'm going to have a lot of cards in hand, so it wouldn't be bad to charge for a 4th and play a boonie. So this card's super good. It pretty much saves you in most cases that you draw this card. And this is a card I want to discuss. If you don't have these cards, go ahead and get them. I'm not sure if I'm going to play more than 2, so don't be too worried about getting a full play set. But this card is super good in this deck, and I had it in a build way before, but I'm not sure if I really want to keep it. All these cards come in for free, so when you play your turn 1 as a Mai, and your later game you still want to play Mai's, this becomes a draw 2, tap 2 for 1 energy, and then every turn that stays on the board is a 25k that draws you cards. This becomes 3 cost. That's why I said you max put 4 energy, but 3 energy is max usually because you want to play this for 3. So yeah, with all these cards that you play for free, you can, or 1, you can get this really cheap. So Kefla will draw you cards and restand energy and keep your tempo up, because the main thing is you want to keep having cards to play off Tapion Unison every turn. But if you guys have questions or concerns about the way the deck's going, or if the other route with Vegito, bombs, and Obunis and ramping is still viable, yes, you can probably still do that, but I'm thinking the way the format is going pretty quick, that it'd be nice to have the deck a little, the curve a lot smoother and a lot less to worry about when you're drawing opening hand, because I think that's one of the issues I had with my other build. It was powerful whenever you set it up with a turn 2 Baby Unison and it draws your cards every turn, but other than that, you have to see the pieces for the fusion and get them on board and hope they stay alive and make sure that your opponent's not not really going to care about you dropping a bomb. So I think the 15k swings a lot, and the easy solution is just to play low to the ground, draw a few cards, keep your hand high, keep getting trunkses, keep playing them for free, and play good defense. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.